We are Barks and Brews, and we are here today to tell you why you should invest in our company. So, who are we? I'm Ariel.
My name's Ibisa.
Sit Lolly.
I'm Madison.
I'm Ethan.
And we started this company because of our passion for dogs and our passion for coffee. We decided to start our company with a value system integrated in throughout our entire strategy and structure of the company. So we need a very good basis for a good value system in every step of the daily operations of the company. So our values will include things like love, kindness, health, wellness, fun, innovation, and creativity. And those are going to be displayed in all of the aspects of our company.
If you like dogs, Barks and Brews is about to be your new favorite joint. Play with dogs and catch up over a delicious cup of coffee. And if you happen to fall in love with the dogs, you're in luck. They're all up for adoption. Why a dog coffee shop, you ask? Well, Barks and Brews is planning on revolutionizing the way dogs are adopted. The cafe will provide a fun, welcoming, and stress-relieving environment, especially if you join our dog yoga for the weekend. In addition to helping dogs find their homes, we also offer the opportunity for people unable to have pets. We'll be located on the corner of Sharp and Astor, and we'll have enough space for indoor and outdoor area to play fetch, get some vitamin D, and fresh air. For our strategic choice, we chose differentiation strategy. And this is because we have a very unique competitive advantage by having our coffee shop be a half dog rescue. And this is definitely an experience you can't get anywhere else in Spokane. We'll definitely sell premium coffee, and this is because we really want to have a great coffee quality experience, but also we can charge a little bit higher price in the coffee in order to support our dogs and our business. We'll host weekend yoga experiences where we can have people come in from the community and have the yoga session with the dogs. And this will create a really relaxed communal environment for everyone. All the dogs in the shelter are available for adoption, as you know, and some of our competitors in this environment will be Starbucks, which is a little bit more of a relaxed study area, more quiet, quick drive-thrus such as Dutch Bros, and another one would be dog shelters. For our SWOT analysis, our strengths we have listed that will be partnered with local shelters in our area like Scraps and Pet Savers, and all of the dogs at the shelter will be available for adoption, and at the coffee shop they'll be available for adoption as well. We'll be located in a beautiful central area of Spokane near GU, and our cafe will be very modern and clean. And we'll have an indoor and outdoor area. So the outdoor area could be used for fetch, getting some sun, and dog yoga on the weekends. We'll have premium coffee so you can have amazing experience both with the dogs and with your taste buds. For our weaknesses, having a combination of businesses in one place will make our coffee shop less efficient. So we'll have maybe perhaps longer service times, and for our staff, we'll have only specialized people working there, so either with the coffee or with the dogs, and we'll be reliant on the shelters for our supply of dogs as well. As for opportunities, it will be an amazing gathering place for our community and students. Dogs will experience positive socialization both with humans and with other dogs, and dogs will be put on a path to a forever home. So this is our opportunity to not only help dogs, but our morale in our community. Some threats are that customers are limited to people who want to be around dogs and who aren't severely allergic. There are many coffee shops in the area to catch up with friends, and students will sometimes not want distractions like dogs, and the adoption fees at the cafe will be higher in order to support the business.
We at Barks and Brews believe in the care and enhancement of the relationships between people and canines. So we stand by a mission, which is to foster human and canine lives, one bark and one brew at a time. Since our day-to-day operations include servicing dogs and serving coffee, our company decided to adopt a hierarchical corporate structure. Here you can see at the top we have the owners, and the owners are the stakeholders in the company, which they will make financial and corporate decisions. The next level, we have the brewery manager, and the brewery manager is in charge of overseeing the senior barista and the senior canine caretaker, and he is in charge of obtaining data and information to report to the owners. Under the brewery manager, we have the senior barista, which oversees the baristas, and the senior barista manages the baristas, checks inventory, and makes sure everything's organized and clean. Next, we have the senior canine caretaker, and their job is to oversee the caretakers. Pretty much the same as the senior barista, but instead just more maintaining the division and the department, making sure it's clean and all products for canines are ready. And then we have the baristas themselves, who will directly talk front to front with customers, serve them coffee, make drinks. And next we have the caretaker, which will service dogs, clean them, wash them, and will sell inventory out to customers. Having a hierarchical corporate structure will allow our company to manage both our brewing and canine services with a well-organized, enhancing, and supporting approach. Also, our company is small and carries out business in a highly regulated environment, so our corporate structure will help keep our employees compliant with applicable rules and regulations.
Okay, so now let's talk about job design. We had to find out the essential functions for people that we want working under our company. So first, we did some ONET research to find out other characteristics and other KSAOs that we find in other companies for the exact same position that we're looking for. We also found out these characteristics here through observation and defining the job description and job specification. So technically, what we're looking for, knowledge. We want you to be knowledgeable in coffee, sales, and intermediate math. That just goes to the day-to-day functions of the job. Going off that, we also need skills in customer service, communication, listening and speaking, attention to detail, caring for dogs, and cooperation. We have a very team-oriented company, and these things are all pretty essential to the job and who we're looking for. As far as abilities go, we would love for you to be able to multitask, have speech clarity, be able to resolve issues, manage equipment, and have great time management. This goes with scheduling other employees' timesheets and stuff like that. All of these are very essential to the day-to-day functions of the job. Going off that, the other characteristics of the job would be being a polite and extroverted person that's caring for dogs and is also a team player, as I said before. So moving on, our job analysis, we use a mechanistic approach to have the task specification here on being able to multitask and manage employees, really getting down to the nitty-gritty of what we're going to need in our company. We also use skill simplification because the brewery manager that we're looking for is going to do the same things over and over, eventually simplifying the skill down to it's just that easy sort of thing, and this is going to happen through repetition. So in designing our job, these are just really the things that we're looking for moving forward, no matter what position in the hierarchy or the structure of a company that you'll be in.
potential job, the role that will make or break our business is going to be the brewery manager. They will need to have the skills necessary to aid their employees. Our small company would not be able to survive without this role because the brewery manager will be responsible for managing day-to-day operations, coordinating with vendors and ordering supplies, hiring and training of the staff, resolving customer complaints, nurturing relationships, creating the shift schedule, and tracking, monitoring, and reporting revenues and expenses, as well as managing equipment and inventory and complying with health and safety regulations. This role is important to our business because the manager will be running operations while we, the owners, are not around. The manager will help us accomplish our mission statement to foster human and canine lives, one brew and one bark at a time, by ensuring that the operations in the cafe are running as efficiently and smoothly as possible to create the best possible experience for both humans and dogs.
Okay, so how are we going to recruit you? So we have these lovely flyers that will be online and in person. We have open recruiting policies that are throughout our store, hung up and stuff like that. We also have, we're going to put these flyers up all across GU, in other coffee shops, and in our own coffee shop. So going forward, just what is on this flyer, what are we expecting, stuff like that. So we're hiring a brewery manager. So pretty much we're looking for an enthusiastic and experienced brewery manager. We want you to have experience in food industry, in the dog industry, or potentially both. A high school diploma is required. We are looking for someone with a flexible hours schedule, intermediate math skills, and great communication skills. These are all pretty essential to our job, and in our KSIOs you can see that. We are also looking for someone who can just have fun at the job, be a team player, and that is something that we can get through our interviews, our situational interview questions that we have set up to get to know your personality and who you are. Your responsibilities here are going to include things like managing day-to-day operations, putting out timesheets. You're also going to be in charge of managing revenues and expenses, resolving customer conflicts. The list kind of goes on, and we can talk about that in more detail. But overall, we are looking for an individual that can help the company's mission grow to provide an awesome atmosphere that's going to really aid our employees, customers, and dogs all around.
At Barks and Brews, we strive for equality. That's why we hire Zags. We focus on our recruitment to be centralized at GU, being that our store is across from Sharp. External recruiting with GU, for example, at a job fair with GU, it shows our careful sampling and our candidate pool would be selected and small. Recruitment would be done in teams, sending area specialists who can offer a realistic job preview, and testing our perceptions before we go out and recruit. That way we can eliminate some of those biases before going to fairs and recruiting candidates. We also have open methods such as flyers and wanted ads posted in our store to advertise to our current customers. And our vision is to recruit individuals that exemplify our values, stand behind our mission, and fit well with our company culture. We hope for a 10 to 12 candidate pool, and our forecast, we think for our main position, such as our brewery manager, we aim for 10 to 12 candidates to interview, and retention for that position we believe to be pretty high. It is our main full-time position, and we hope that they stay long enough to train the person under them, and they are able to promote in case of them leaving or departing from our company.
For selection, we chose interviews for our process of candidates. We will use standard questions such as tell us about yourself in order to get to know the candidate better. But then we'll use experience-based questions such as describe a situation where you saw a problem and took steps to fix it. This will have a guided rubric from 1 to 5, 5 being well thought out answer, very detailed about the situation, the action that they took, and the result of the outcome, and one being pretty unprofessional and unrelated to the topic. We have a detailed write-out of this rubric on the next slide. Also, we'll ask future-oriented questions such as, tell us how you would respond to a customer who didn't like their coffee. The pros and cons of the interviewing method to determine candidates is that the pros are that it's very cost effective, especially for a small startup business such as Barks and Brews. And it's mostly reliable when against bias when you use the rubric. It's very telling and applicable to job scenarios if you use the right questions. And the questions will be reviewed ahead of time by the interviewer and after. After the interview, the interviewers will go back and together they'll score with a guided rubric and objectively find the best fit for the job. Cons of this way of selection is that it is time consuming. Also, unfortunately, there is perceptual bias errors, and the answers of candidates can sometimes be unreliable and low in validity. But we did choose to use interview because it's known to be the best way of finding the best candidates when you do use guided rubric and the best. So this is an example of a 1. Hi, welcome to Barks and Brews. I'm Madison.
I'm still Ollie.
Nice to meet you too. So we'll just start off the interview with some questions, and yeah, why don't we start off with tell us about yourself.
So recently, the reason I'm looking for a job is that my boyfriend just broke up with me and he works at my old job, and so I'm just trying to find somewhere where I won't have to see him every day because I'm kind of a mess right now. And yeah, that's a little about me.
Okay, we'll move on to the next question. So describe a situation where you saw a problem and you took steps to fix it.
So the problem was that in my old job I would have to work with my boyfriend and I was unproductive, so I'm taking the steps to fix it by finding a new job. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Let's move on to a future-oriented question. So tell us about how you would respond to a customer who didn't like their coffee.
I'm very experienced and I've done coffee for like 2 years now, so I don't really make bad coffee.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. This is an example of a 5. Hi, welcome to Barks and Brews. I'm Madison.
Hi Madison, nice to meet you. My name's Ibisa.
Nice to meet you. So we're just going to do a few questions, and so the first one is just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a full-time student. I go to GU actually, which is just down the road from Barks and Brews, which is one of the reasons why I think this place seems so compelling to me. I have read the mission and been inside Barks and Brews a lot, and the values and core culture just seem like something that I can fit well with in your company.
Great, awesome. Okay, for the next question we have is describe a situation where you saw a problem and took steps to fix it.
Well, at my last job, it was a little cluttered and there was a lot of objects within the store, so the floor design was a little unoriented it was a little confusing for the customers. So I approached my boss and asked him if I could redesign the place, and I showed him a little sketch of how I think it would look, and he liked it a lot, and it ended up adding more room and more open space for the coffee shop I used to work at.
Wonderful. And the next question is a future-oriented question. So tell us about how you would respond to a customer who didn't like their coffee.
Well, I don't know the rules here, but it's usually customers always right, and if I made the coffee in poorly, I would simply take it back and remake them a new one.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks
We'll
for
be in
having me.
touch.
Appreciate it.
Our process of motivation comes from the adoption of the goal-setting theory. The goal-setting theory shows that well-chosen and well-set goals can be motivating. There are 2 reasons why we decided to go with the goal-setting theory for our philosophy for motivating. Number 1, Goals provide a useful framework for managing motivation, where managers and employees can set goals for themselves in which they can work towards them. And number 2, goals are an effective control device for management to monitor how well an organization is performing. Based off their goal completion, our employees will be compensated in 2 ways. Merit pay. Merit pay is an increase to base salary depending on the performance and evaluation of each individual employee. We will only provide an increase to salary if our employees get a rating of a 4 or a 5. And the second way that we're going to compensate our employees is the recognition awards, which are tangible awards such as gift cards, time off, or merchandise. Our company will also offer a variety of benefits, some being 401k for full-time employees, an employee discount, health insurance, flexible schedules, sick pay, and vacation. Our organization strategy relates to our compensation strategy in a variety of ways. And the first way is that our company's services are mostly customer service based, and with merit pay, we're able to evaluate each individual employee and give them a merit pay compensation based off how they do. And it also works hand in hand with recognition awards because it will motivate employees to achieve their goals with them working on their customer service and their service to our customers. Unfortunately, the compensations that we decided to implement in our corporate structure has certain drawbacks. One of them being merit pay. If all of our employees are doing very well, a lot of them score an evaluation of 5. On average, if we have very, very good evaluations, then that'll obligate us to increase most of our employees' pay, which we most likely would not be able to do. Secondly, with recognition awards, it could definitely lead to favoritism towards certain employees, which will decrease motivation and can cause performance to decrease.
So within our business, we will employ hands-on training methods such as on-the-job training, simulations, business games and case studies, and behavior modeling. These methods will be best for our business because they will allow us to most efficiently prepare our staff to deal with the decisions they will have to make on a daily basis. The manager will mostly be responsible for conducting training and development sessions, and baristas will have to be trained in customer service, the POS system, and most importantly, to learn and master the menu. Most of the training will be conducted right after being hired and monthly thereafter. We will assess the effectiveness of our training programs by continuously monitoring. Group development will also be important to employ in our business. It will ensure that everyone is working together efficiently. We will use cross-training, team building, team process training, and transportable teamwork competencies. These training and development methods will complement our organizational strategy by building team dynamics and creating a coherent day-to-day environment. This will allow employees to take responsibility and control on how to handle situations on their own, empowering employees to reflect what they have learned in the training. Here's your POS system. You should learn it before you have to interact with customers. I'll leave you to it. Okay, so now we're going to learn the POS system. It's pretty straightforward. So all the drinks and food items are here. You simply click on the picture and it'll pull up and it'll tally it on its own. So then you won't have to do any math or anything. You'll just see it and then they'll hand you your card and you're slide it in here.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, I think you explained that very well.
Performance evaluations is how our company is going to run smoothly and we're going to be the most productive that we can be. So the first step in our performance evaluations would be setting specific selling and training goals for our brewery managers with specific dates in mind so we can encourage them to meet those goals throughout our structure. Going off that, we are going to take a behavioral approach to our performance evaluations and rely on critical incidents and analyze those. So if there's a wrong drink made, how did that person react? If there's an incident with the dog that's like poor or anything like that, how are they reacting? Are they doing the best thing they can in their position to solve those problems? And that is something we're going to evaluate on spot, or we can talk about it at the semi-annual meetings, which we can get to later. We also have a method of performance-based rewards. So we have Employee of the Month, which we will dedicate every month to a different employee based on their selling, based on their interactions with customers, or customer feedback if they've done well, if customers are telling us like, oh, we love this barista, we love this person. And then we will announce that to everyone publicly so they can get that little praise there. And then on top of that, we will also have them get free coffee for the month, because we already have a lot of coffee, and that will be the most cost effective, and it will really help them to reach their goals. We're also going to have frequent training and development, which includes videos. We also are planning on doing Wellness Wednesday emails that are sent out, so how to deal with stress, how to do this, just so we can keep that in mind with our values, and we really just care about our employees, just harping on that. We really care about them, and to get them to keep coming back so we can reduce turnover. And development, and just making a relationship with them. Sometimes we might send out personality tests on our Wellness Wednesdays or something, just to get to know each other better, and all that kind of stuff. So going off feedback, we are going to have consistent informal feedback and semi-annual formal feedback. So the consistent informal feedback will just be like, we're going to focus on the positive as usual, and try to make everything, even if it is bad, turn into a positive situation. So consistent informal feedback, we're just going to be throughout, like, you're doing a great job on this customer said this, anything to help them know that they're doing a good job, or know that they're on the right track. So semi-annual formal feedback, we'll have meetings with our employees, let them know if they're reaching their goals, talk to them about what they can do better, maybe set some new goals for the next quarter, and anything like that. So in our performance appraisals, they will include details about what will occur and what consequences are tied to these evaluations, which can include raises, promotions, separation, development, anything that we think sees fit on their specific job task there. And the evaluation choices are also going to be based on the motivation and work atmosphere. We just want to really encourage a happy workplace with open communication, so that's why we're going to just give this informal feedback constantly, and it can be done throughout the hierarchy, one barista to another brewery manager. We can just, like, both ways, give them tricks of the trade, that sort of thing, and everyone will be comfortable there, because we really harp on this open communication. And performance evaluations are going to be based on strategy of the company and overall goals and mission, vision and strategy of our company, making sure we're all in line all the time with what we want to see out of our employees.
So when it comes to performance evaluations and separation, we focus on critical incidences. Critical incidences that require direct or immediate attention. For issues that come up that are minor, or management is allowed to informally bring to attention and evaluate on performance with employees, we want to lead by inspiration. So it would understand the person and the problem before getting to the issue, and getting rid of some of those halo and horns biases. Just like similar to the Pike Place Fish Store management, we would protect or watch our biases and know about the inner person before learning, or before getting to the issue.
Okay, the safety, well-being, and the health and stress of our employees is extremely important to us. We really care about our employees, and a stress-free and healthy employee is going to be the most productive employee. So our company really wants to lower these stressors. So we have work hindrance stressors that we know that our employees will experience on the job, as goes for any job. So daily hassles, this can be noise, this can be tons of dogs running around, equipment breaking down, anything like that. Work overload, so going off the brewery manager position that we have talked about, that could include, just too many responsibilities to take care of on a day-to-day basis, and dealing with things that come up that are out of your normal day-to-day jobs. Work challenge stressors, so work responsibilities. So these are things that will make you better and will encourage your position in a good way. So that's, you know, who's gonna get hurt if the coffee is too hot, or if they're allergic, or same thing that goes with dogs. What's gonna happen if you make the drink wrong? Just all these demands that you have to meet. These are all stressors, and then safety would go along with, you know, what does happen if somebody is allergic to a drink, if equipment breaks, if, you know, customers are being like crazy, or there's some kind of issue in our company or in our store in general. So how we're gonna manage this? So we're gonna have mandatory breaks with the de-stress dogs. And then we also are gonna have Wellness Wednesdays emails, which I mentioned earlier. They'll be sent out just to keep our values in check. We're also going to have meditation and dog yoga offered to our employees as well as to our customers. And this is just a way to de-stress and a great way to incorporate our employees to get to know each other more. So to de-stress, we also are just going to improve our environment of our company by having welcoming spaces, and we also are going to include a separate space without dogs in case there's allergies, it's overwhelming, or they just don't want it. And this is just going to make sure there's a divide and people are less stressed.
Barks and Brews isn't just a great place to work, if you haven't noticed from the presentation, but a great place to be. Our business model strategy focuses on employee wellness and adorable canines to steal your significant others. Our little coffee shop and shelter has felt more like home, and we want you to be a part of the family.
Thanks for listening to our presentation.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.